I want to learn how to draw with one goal in mind, and that is to draw hentai and earn a living off of it. One problem though, I suck at drawing. I do not have a single creative bone in my body. But I figured, why should that stop me? Just because I'm talentless, just because I struggle with how to hold a pen, does not mean that I need to stay that way. And so I've created this channel pretty much as a way of documenting my journey into learning how to draw and then learning how to draw hentai specifically. Will I succeed? Probably not. But it might as well be an entertaining journey and see how far we can get. Since I don't have any talent or knowledge when it comes to drawing, I figured I would go to the one place where talentless degenerates go to learn new skills. Reddit. I found a subreddit, in fact, Learn to Draw. Scrolling through it, I got jealous. A lot of people are talented, incredibly talented artists. Some more than others, as you can see. And so I figured this would be a great opportunity and a great place for me to start my journey in learning how to draw. First thing I did is pretty much go to the wiki. Where do I start? If you're completely new to drawing, you start by learning how to see the world as shapes and angles. Got a few exercises to learn that, and I did all 3 of these days. Obviously, when you want to learn how to draw, you need to draw a dude sitting upside down, right? Makes complete sense. And so that was my first exercise. I had to draw this picture. I didn't even really know what this was supposed to be. And I needed to draw him from scratch. My girlfriend was nice enough to let me borrow her tablet so I can draw on it digitally, which also allows you to record your drawings, which is a very cool function. I didn't even know that was a thing. This would be my attempt at the sketch, so let's have a look at it together. Oh yeah, right off the bat, I kind of forgot it. I'm very mature, I promise. Since they mentioned you mostly have to look at shapes and lines, I just figured I look at the line, I try to draw it as well as I can, but very quickly I feel like I was getting lost in the sauce. I had no idea what I was looking at. This I can tell, that was like an arm and a tissue, but I ran out of space, so I had to move the drawing a little bit. And especially with the hand, as you can see, I don't know if that's considered a hand. That's more like a pretzel or something of the sorts. It's not looking good, Chief. It's not looking good at all. I also feel like the proportions of everything I'm drawing are not quite what they're supposed to be, but in a vague sense, you could tell I'm attempting to draw something that could resemble a human being, except then I had to start making the face, and I once again ran out of space, so it turned out to be a mentally impaired guy, not a lot of room for brain capacity, as you can see. My final touches, and there we go. This is what I was supposed to get, and this is what I got. You know, as you can tell, I was not lying when I said I did not have artistic talent. But that's okay. That was just day 1. We did the exercise, and that's the most important thing. Day 2 was something different entirely. We had to draw a grid. Basically, you would take a still picture of something, draw a grid on that picture, and then draw a grid on your paper and do the same thing, marking everywhere in that grid where you would have intersections or finishes of the image itself. As you can see here, with red and green dots everywhere. Green would be for the inside stuff, red would be for the outside stuff. And then you would just go through it. Slowly but surely the horse would appear. And by the end, a beautiful stallion right on your paper. So I of course had to do the same thing. First off, I had to start with the grid. Started off great, but you'll notice geometry might not be my strongest suit. And that's okay. Pretty quickly, I went at it with the reds first to kind of draw the outline of the image that I would be following. And then I went for the green ones for the inside pieces. Just like in the example, I started with the ear and then worked my way down a little bit. Made it a bit too angular for my taste, especially when compared to the image they showed me, but you can tell it's a horse. This is where I really fucked up, I feel like. The eye describes so much pain. I don't know what the horse has been through, but I feel for it. Somehow I fucked up and gave the horse way too much emotion. It must have carried thousands of dead soldiers in the trenches of World War I to be giving us this dead look. And as you can see here, the fact that I fucked up the grid in the first place makes the horse a little too wide for our tastes, but you know, like I said, it still looks like a horse. And before you know it, the image of the horse has appeared. Let's once again compare to the image, and I think this time we got a little bit closer, but still, beautiful stallion from the example, whatever this is. It's a bit too wide, but honestly, I was kind of happy with it. I feel like I could have done way worse. And by the end of it, the eye was kind of growing on me. I feel like the horse itself is inadequate to the emotions that are in that eye. So maybe one day I'll revisit this image and make a proper stallion filled with grief to accompany the eye that I created. And then day 3, we went for still life. What's the point of drawing still life? So apparently we're supposed to translate 3D images into 2D. And for that exercise, the best thing you should be doing is taking a 3D image, like a real object in front of you, and drawing that instead of looking at a picture. It'll help you translate real things into paper better through sheer practice. And so just like with the example, I chose a banana. I even put it in the same way. Start with the outlines, the detailing, maybe even a shadow. And that's just what I did, except for the shadow, of course. Look at that, my banana. I do have to say, I feel like I still don't have quite the confidence in drawing, but it's getting better, I feel like. I opted to like squiggle in some shadows for the banana itself to signify some color changes. Same with the tip. And I mean, look at that, right? I couldn't quite see the logo itself, so after I made the logo itself, I instead of like the actual logo, I just put in some good boy banana. Because really, why not, right? Over here as well, let me pause it actually. As you can see, some of the lines became thicker. I don't know why, but I think I have a theory. I don't know if it's actually true, but from what I understand, the pencil, the digital pencil, if you hold it too sideways, it starts to make things thicker, which is on purpose. But considering I'm not an artist, I didn't really notice it at the time. I was like, wait, why the hell is it so thick? But yeah, eventually I think I figured it out. I made it a bit thinner. Ended up not having enough space for banana, so I just made a big A. Let's pretend that's a stylistic choice and not a fuck up of my own. And with that, the banana is completed. This is the example, and this would be my attempt. Honestly, a bit too angular as far as I can tell, way too many angles everywhere. But I'm quite satisfied with the first attempt. I think if I keep going at it, I might actually have a future in drawing semi-decently. And so I think I will stick with it, or at least attempt to. Or next time we'll go through drawing a box apparently. We'll make that a thing. But for now, I'm quite happy with where we got to. So yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.